Hey, you. Welcome back to the channel. And today we want to talk Electroneum. So, Electroneum, many of us are familiar with the fork that Electroneum just went through with a lot of great improvements and changes to the Electroneum system. So, one big problem, guess start with the biggest problem first to many people, was the price. And the fork has now allowed for over 75% of the mining rewards to be taken off the table, right? So, what that means is we're going to see millions upon millions of electronium per day not being able to be sold by the ASIC mining that was going on and more likely being dumped on the market. All right, so that's a great improvement. But Electroneum has, as we got to learn, has also introduced something called the proof of responsibility model. And I just want to talk a little bit about how important it is to experiment with new models and go through a variety of changes in the cryptocurrency space. And whereas many people I know kind of laughed it off when I say things like, there are going to be a lot of replacement algorithms for Bitcoin going forward into the future and the proof of work algorithm. I think that as time goes on, people are going to start to really look back on that and see that those things are going to start to become more true every day. The reality is the proof of work model, whereas it has been robust and it has been reliable, uh, it is a waste. It is a great energy waste. If everybody were to adapt to Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough resources to run the nodes. And so there was a lot of great things that came out when Richard Ailes not only just talked about the amount of waste that happens in the proof of work algorithm and the need for changes to the algorithms that the cryptocurrency space uses and experimentations, but just how Bitcoin in general works. Even though it has this idea of decentralization, there are only about 20 pools that are actually really in control of the Bitcoin. And of those 20 pools, we still don't know how many of those pools are connected. So when we really start to break things down, I think we start to get a much more clearer picture about some of the ideas that we've been floating around the cryptocurrency space, and that there is going to necessarily be, or there is going to be the necessity to have experimental models, hybrid models. When we think of decentralization and centralization, I think another thing we have to really keep in mind with this is that the cryptocurrency space is beginning to broaden. And there isn't like just one idea about how the cryptocurrency space should work or what ideas people deem important. Um, and so, in that, hybrid models might become more well accepted than totally decentralized models versus centralized models, right? There may be this meeting in the middle, and we may find the most efficient and usable models in that way, right? So that's why I think we have to be very careful. I've had the conversation with developers and a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space, and one of the predominant ideas was always privacy and censorship, right? And but we haven't asked the general public exactly what is it that they're looking to gain out of the cryptocurrency space. It may not be so black and white for them. So I think the narrative that we have about the cryptocurrency space will not only evolve, but we will adapt it to meet the needs of the people and meet our needs in a way we see fit. And that may not be contained in the bounds of one narrative, right? So, in short, the proof of responsibility model is a new algorithm, a new way forward, maybe a new efficient model that's going to work for Electroneum a great deal. And Electroneum's, I don't think Electroneum gets enough credit. Electroneum, when I think about setting up a operation in cryptocurrency space, I think Electroneum's done just about everything I could imagine. Right? It has the physical branding with the phones. It has the decentralization part with the cryptocurrency mining, which they will still have on a proof of responsibility model, has the kind of breakthrough and speeding up the movement of transactions over the blockchain with the instant processing system. And it has the great wallet app simulated miner that makes it possible to adapt and bring many people on board. So I don't think Electroneum gets a, a lot of credit for what it does. But I think they're doing a great job, and I think one of our main concerns for us who've got into cryptocurrency, got into electronic to make some money, and there's nothing wrong with that. We want to make some money by the reduction in these miners, right? Rewards, which I think was a great move. There's a possibility now that's going to free up a lot of that sell pressure that's been pushing Electroneum down. And I don't know, maybe the cryptocurrency space is going to start to take a look at Electroneum again and start to really focus on useful products, right? I mean, again, we're going around with these cryptocurrencies, proof of work algorithms, and we are headed towards putting more destruction on the environment, right? In a time in our political climate where ideas like energy, green energy, global warming, and eliminating waste are paramount issues. Building a house on a foundation of systems that are inherent to waste of energy. It's just not going to be feasible going forward into the future. So I think we're going to have to come to terms that these projects, these algorithms, the way that we mine and the way that we secure our networks are going to have to change. And there are a lot of projects that are finding new ways. And over the next 5-10 years, I would imagine we're going to find a great deal of projects that find a great deal more ways to deal with this. But I think it might be time for me to pick up a little bit more Electroneum. But I want to say this as well to the cryptocurrency space. With all the with all the wash trading that goes on, with all of the pricing not being reliable, with all of the structure of cryptocurrency that I call where the sell walls and the buy walls are like paper tigers, right? They just crash through them and move the market when they want. It's going to be of the utmost importance if we're really serious about this space, really focusing on projects that work and people use. And I think we are going to begin to see a great fall in the way of projects that don't have a clear future going forward. And that's going to be a lot of projects. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like to hear this, but the proof of work algorithm that Bitcoin uses is doomed to fail at some point in the future, right? This is an algorithm that is outlived its usefulness, and it is not going to end well for such algorithms. They're going to need to adapt, and that's not saying Bitcoin can't adapt, but it can't adapt under the proof of work algorithm. It's going to have to be some changes or some version of Bitcoin. And we have one, Bitcoin MYK, uses the proof of participation algorithm. It's democratic, where the community as a whole decides where the cryptocurrency goes through a series of network hubs, right? So projects like that and projects like Electroneum that have these algorithms that make sense toward the future is what's going to work in the end. But anyway, keep a lookout on Electroneum. I just wanted to check in with you guys. I'm optimistic about that price going up, but not financial advice. Always do your own research. You guys know the whole nine with how we deal with cryptocurrency. Only invest what you know you can afford to lose, and invest in projects you use, invest in things you like. At least that's what I do, right? You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. And that's always been my my way of how I look at investments. If I'm wearing your clothes, if I'm driving your cars, if I'm using your cryptocurrency, if I like your projects, then I'm buying it. And if the check boxes no to those, then I'm not buying it. I'm not in the speculation game anymore, right? So I'm not gonna just be buying stuff and waiting for it to go up. It's gonna have to just make sense across the board for me to get involved, or I'm just not gonna worry about it. I can go invest in the stock markets and investments that got government protection on them. I can go invest in things like that, can take risk with some protections against them. I don't have to come to cryptocurrency and just speculate, right? And still not do well at that. But if there's this opportunity in this new technology and with new projects and products that could go forward and be a new way forward, a new way, a new monetary system, a new technology that makes the human mankind better, then I'm all on board for that. But it's got to be that, and not just more shell games, and not just more empty projects or redundant projects. But that's all I want to say. Keep an eye out for Electroneum. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe. Also, don't forget to join our project, BitcoinNYK.com. It's doing quite well, and there's a lot of great things happening to it going forward in the future. You can join. You can get it free if you have Bitcoin. You can participate with our proof participation model and earn them free on the website. But that's all I got to say. Until the next time, you all take care.